Alright guys, so I do have information regarding that last symbol that I didn't know before. And let's just start with what we know. So we know that the fire symbol basically resembles motion. We know that the wave symbol that looks like water of waves, like we know the wave symbol, the blue wave symbol we know is like the motion of waves or something like that. And we know that this little yellow energy symbol is the symbol for lightning. And we know that the wave symbol is the is probably like an elemental power from the source dragon of waves, which is probably the same elemental power of water that Nia and Maya both got their powers from. And the yellow energy symbol is lightning. Therefore, there must be a lightning source dragon, like in Source Dragon of Energy, which I believe is where Jay gets his lightning from. And of course, there's some sort of symbol of strength, which I bet comes from the Source Dragon strength, which I know is where Cole gets his earth power from. Or at least I know that's probably where Cole's earth power originally originates from, would be from the Source Dragon of Strength. I have no doubt in mind it's the same element. And the fire symbol is definitely from the Source Dragon Motion, which I believe is definitely where Ray and Kai both got the power of fire from. And the white and gold symbol, I think, is definitely the Source Dragon of Creation. Because first of all, before the first Ninjago Master Wu was even a thing, they had to be a Source Dragon of Creation before the first Ninjago Master for the elemental power of Source, for the elemental power of creation to even be a thing in the first Ninjago Master and Master Wu timeline. After all, the first Ninjago Master had to have gotten the power of creation from a Source Dragon of Creation, and probably become a conduit to that elemental power, and probably become a conduit to that elemental power for him to have it. He probably wasn't just born with it. And finally, this little white symbol right here that kind of looks like ice, which I believe is probably from the Source Dragon of Flow, because after all, like, if you freeze water, like a water such as like a flowing water, like water, if you freeze it, it becomes ice. Therefore, that's why I call it the Source Dragon of Flow. And I believe that's where or as I like to call it, the Source Dragon of Ice, which I believe is where the elemental power of ice originated from, before the first ice elemental, before Zane. There must have been a Source Dragon of Ice before then for the first ice elemental, before Zane to even attain that elemental power of ice. And that is my final thoughts regarding the Source Dragon symbols. This is Lego Ninjago fan Cole, out.